Welcome back to Recruiting Thursday here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Jack Ridenour here with you today, and we are now joined by current Franklin Regional football player and recent Duquesne University commit, Nate Chiarizio. Nate, great to get you on the show today, my friend. First off, congratulations on the major commitment. How does it feel to make this decision?
Oh, it feels great. It was definitely a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders throughout this whole entire recruiting process.
Yeah, well, you said it right there. Weight lifted off your shoulders. I'm sure that really makes you feel a little bit better, especially with the Christmas season, right around the corner, and obviously with New Year's as well. What made you choose Duquesne? I mean, why did you want to stay local?
I think it was just a combination between like the school and all the coaches and just like the facilities there, and like just from the first time I went there, from the first time I talked to the coaches, it just kind of felt like home to me, and it was definitely a place that I could see myself being at for college.
Well, I know that you were offered just a few days prior to you making your decision. I mean, were there any other schools that you had interest from or that were on your radar, or did you just kind of want to, you were completely dead set on it being Duquesne?
I had offers from Carnegie Mellon and Case Western, and then I also had some interest from like St. Francis and some of the Ivies. But I think like Duquesne, I've been talking to the coaches since April, and it's just been constant with them. And it's just been something that I've always been like, if they offer me, it's something where I would really like make a strong decision or a strong idea to go there. And I think it was just one of those things where it was the right fit for me. And that was the biggest thing I was looking for, was the right fit.
Well, what do you plan on majoring in there?
So they have like a business and law program. So it's just like 3 years business, 3 years of law school. So that's what I'm going to end up doing.
So what kind of law? I'm very curious about that. My stepmom's actually a lawyer, so I would love to hear what kind of law you're going to get into or what you would like to get into.
I'm not 100% sure on what kind of law. I'm looking more like corporate or something like that, but I'm not like set on what law I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, you've got a lot of time, my friend. That is the beauty of it with you not even being in college yet. You still are in high school, so you have a lot of time to think about it. But I want to get into your football career and just kind of find out how you got to where you are today. When did you start playing football?
So I started in 8th grade, so it would have been my last year of middle school.
What got you interested in wanting to play?
It was a lot of just friends, and I wanted to try something new. Like I'd played baseball and basketball prior to that, but I just wanted, like, a bunch of my friends played football, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And then it's just taken off from there.
Now, at what point did you start to kind of realize, hey, this is something that, could really become something. I could make this a collegiate thing?
It was probably before my junior year, that off season, I kind of realized that, hey, I can make a career out of this, and I can get part of my education like paid for, or I could get like scholarships out of this. And I think it was kind of right there where I realized, hey, this could be my future if I start working at it.
Well, another thing that I've noticed that you've done during your time at Franklin Regional, I'm guessing it goes with you wanting to be a lawyer. You at one point a staff writer for the school newspaper. At what point did you want to get into writing? Is that something that you wanted to do or that you maybe have considered?
I think it was just one of those things that I was experimenting with, and it was because I was freshman year, I took that, and it was just kind of one of those experimental things. And I think it just kind of has gone from there with just like writing. And it was just one of those other things where just build up different skills just to help me when I go to college and stuff like that.
Well, I know that you wrote a very interesting piece about whether or not college athletes should be paid. And now we fast forward a few years later and you're a college, or you're going to be a college athlete. So, and now with the NIL becoming a big thing, I mean, do you feel like this is, kind of an important thing and a big step for collegiate athletics to take?
I think it is. I think that they should be able to make the money. And I think that this is a step that should have been taken. And I think that it's just going to keep growing as they start using it. And there's going to be different things that develop as they continue to go on with this.
Yeah, it's definitely changed the landscape of college athletics and even high school athletics in some senses. I mean, we've even started to hear about high school athletic and high school athletes getting NIL deals in some situations. But I want to dive into this season with you because you guys had a great year on the gridiron. Want to get into a moment in the season. I'm sure you guys probably don't like to discuss too much, but it seemed like a turning point in your year. Close loss to Shaler, middle of the season. And you could tell right from there, though, you guys did not look back. You guys finished out the regular season really strong and wound up winning the section title. After that loss, what was kind of the message and just what was talked about in the locker room in that following week at practice that you feel really resonated with your guys?
I think after that weekend, we kind of just realized that like we had to stop playing down to people. Like that was after the week we beat Gateway. And I think we went into that game and we weren't really like taking it too seriously. So I think after that game, we kind of, like all the players, we kind of got together and we all kind of said, hey, this isn't what we want to do. This isn't what the team we want to be. So we kind of just got together. We rallied together as a team. And I think we just used that as a motivating factor and said, all right, we can actually do this. And then we just started playing like a team after that. I think that was when we really started to take off.
Well, another game that I think you guys probably look back at very fondly, the 16-7 win over Gateway. And with how strong of a program Gateway has been over the years, I'm sure there was a lot of excitement going around the locker room and the program. What did that win show you about your team and kind of also display what you guys were really capable of accomplishing?
I think it boosted our confidence more than anything because I think we weren't playing as a team prior to that. And I think we needed that game to kind of just show us that, hey, you play like a team, we play all together, all 11 of us every play, and good things are going to happen. And we can beat any team that we wanted to as long as we played a really good game and we didn't make as many mistakes.
Well, you guys definitely had a really strong season on the gridiron. Like I mentioned, section champions, going to the playoffs. Now your career is over as a football player at Franklin Regional. And like I said, moving on to Duquesne. What do you plan on taking away from your time at Franklin Regional and just being a part of the Panther football program?
I'm just going to take a lot of the relationships away that I've built over the years with a bunch of the coaches and the kids. And I'm also going to take away the work ethic that I had to have because high school football is a completely different animal than any other type of football up to this point. And I think that you just kind of have to have a different mindset when you play it because any given week, any team can win, especially high school football. Anything can happen. So I just realized that you can't take anything for granted and you have to play every play like it's your last and there's nothing that you can look back on.
Well, before we wrap up today, Nate, I want to hear from you. What are you most excited for when you head off to Duquesne next year on the football field? But also, what are you excited for just to go off to college and, enjoy off the field as well?
I think I'm just most excited about the experiences and stuff. And obviously the football part of it being a part of a good team that we could definitely do some good things. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm also just looking forward to the relationships and just where I personally go after that in my career and how I build myself up over the next couple of years.
Well, Nate, we wish you nothing but luck moving forward, and we're really excited to see what you do on your next stop at Duquesne. And once again, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
That's Nate Chiarizio of Franklin Regional Football and soon-to-be of Duquesne Football. Thanks again for joining us today, folks, here on Recruiting Thursday on the Westmoreland Sports Network.